So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to fix warped Marvel Legends parts. So whether it's going to be like the horns on a helmet or a weapon, or even how this guy kind of doesn't even sit down quite right. I'm going to show you how you can fix it in a pretty quick and easy way. But first, let's hear a word from our sponsor. You're joking, right? You think I have a sponsor? That's why you're here. So please like, subscribe, and share so that I can eventually get a real sponsor to help support these videos. Thanks. So warped parts between legs or arms or horns or weapons. How does this happen? Sometimes it happens because while in package, it gets placed in a way such that it gets held in that position for a long time, and then it just gets warped from being that way for so long. Other times, if you're sorting and packing, organizing, so like for me, I put all my figures in these plastic bags, and so I will add their accessories in there as well. And so you can see how once in there, that depending on the position and if you have a lot of figures packed together, that a part could easily become warped just from staying in that position for too long. So say you want to fix that. How do you do that? We're gonna do that with both water and with a heat gun. So I have this Wagner heat gun. You don't need to use a heat gun. You can use a hair dryer. And so the concepts are the same with the exception that it'll take a little bit longer with the hair dryer. So let's try it with a weapon first. And we're gonna go ahead and use our Stormbreaker here. So you can see that this one is pretty wonky. It's not straight the way it should be. So yes, you could bend it back like that, but you would have to hold it there with something in order for it to get that way. But using a heat gun, this can go pretty quick. So we're going to just turn this on our low setting. Low right here, if you can see that. And it gets hot pretty much right away. So you want to make sure you don't hit your skin with it. And we're just going to apply even heat on that piece. And you want to do even heat, not apply it at a single point, because by applying it to a single point, you could potentially damage something. So now you can actually even see that it's starting to get wobbly. Starting to get wobbly, you can kind of see that. I can move it really easily now. But instead of holding it in place, I want to actually let gravity bring it down. We want gravity to let it get straight. So you can see it's now straight, but now it might be going in the opposite direction, right? So I'm gonna just kind of let it rotate a little bit, and you can see it's warped there too. So we're gonna just kind of keep doing that as it cools, and it should eventually get straight. And so after doing it enough and letting it cool, then you have a straight Stormbreaker. I'll show you here too, just to make sure you can see it. And let's do it again, but this time we're gonna go ahead and use the boiling water. So I have some already here, already boiled. And obviously you're gonna probably need one a little bit bigger depending on what you're doing, but I think we can make this one work. So I'm gonna go ahead and just let it rest in there, and it pretty much instantly got really malleable. So it'll soak a little bit longer. So now you can see that that's much better than it was. And then you just have to dry that guy off, and then you're in business. Oh, I guess we'll let gravity bring that back, because yeah, that was a little bit bent. But I'm sure that'll be fine. So let's go ahead and try Thor's, from Thor Ragnarok, We've got Thor with the battle helmet that he has. And so in the picture, we know that it should be more straight like that on each side. But while this was in my baggie, it got all warped like that. So I'm gonna just try dipping this guy in here, head first. Let it get nice and warm. And I don't know if you can see it, but when I press it down against the glass, I can already see that it's really malleable. And just from that, you can already see that it's gotten straight just from gravity pulling it. Okay, there too. And then after cooling, this one should be pretty much good to go. Now you can use the same technique with the heat gun or a hair dryer, like I said. So I'm just showing you that you can do it either way. And that looks great. All right, got that done, those done. Lastly, we're gonna work on this armadillo bath. So if you see, you can kind of see how there's some shadow underneath here because this is not sitting down quite right. This is less prominent, but you can still kind of see that it has some leeway as well. So we're gonna just apply the same principles. We're gonna use our heat gun, all right, the Wagner again. And we're gonna just apply, and we're gonna do sweeping motions. We don't want to apply directly to any spot in particular. And in this case, I'm also even going to apply on this side a bit. For this one, I am going to go ahead and just try holding it down a bit in the position that we want it to be in. You know, so let's just take this even a step further, and we're going to heat up just the back piece on its own. So much better than it was. Still not totally fully down, but it doesn't have nearly that level of gap that it previously had. And that's how you should be able to fix the majority of Marvel Legends warpage, whether it's a limb or a weapon. Even if Thor's leg was totally just like bent like that, then you can heat him up, and then again, I would highly recommend letting gravity do its thing to bring it down, and then just let it cool. And that's it. So the application of heat goes a really long way with your Marvel Legends figures. A lot of this is also applicable to other figures, especially within the Hasbro line, like the Power Rangers Lightning and the G.I. Joe and the Star Wars. But this should also be applicable to most other figures as well, like the DC Multiverse. And so when you're using heat, you can even use it to swap parts. And if you want to see how I took this Thor and this Thor to turn him into this Thor, then check out this other video over here. And otherwise, I'll see you next time.